What's up, it's your boy, I Know Mercy, the Mad Hatter, here to talk about the second trailer for the upcoming Hellboy movie, which is... It was pretty good. It was pretty good. It didn't have the same, like, weird, goofy kind of tone that the first trailer did, which is, I guess, kind of good, but it was much more serious, and you got to see a little bit more of the story, and, like, that was fine. It's like, if they don't show too much from here on out, I think it'll be fine, because, like, you got the basic idea of what the story's gonna be, and you got the basic idea of who the characters are gonna be and everything like that, but it isn't really spoiling anything. Not really, I feel. There are a few things that you can maybe consider spoilers, but they might not be, like we get to see a little bit more of Mila Jovovich as Nimue. We get to see a little bit. We still really don't know what her plan is. Just that she's trying to fuck the world so it'll rebuild itself into her image. You know, that whole that really cliche kind of villain plot. But it's just you can still make a good story with cliches. I like her. I think she's actually pretty good so far. What we've seen of her. The dude playing Hellboy, David Harbour, I think his name is. I think he's actually doing pretty good. Like, I was kind of on the fence about him last time, but it's just like I don't know. I guess it's either because I've gotten used to it, or seeing more of him in this. It's kind of hammered in. Like, yeah, he can do a pretty decent Hellboy. And like overall, it's a pretty decent trailer. Nothing too glaringly bad or out of place or anything like that. The effects actually look pretty decent, which is a good sign, because it's clear there's going to be a really effects heavy movie, which is, I'm okay with that, because it seems like the stuff they're doing, it's not like when Del Toro was doing the Hellboy movies. It's like, no, like, we can do a lot of this stuff with practical effects, but no, like, a lot of the stuff you can't do with practical effects. Like, Hellboy is fighting giants, he's riding a dragon, these weird fucking demon-like, emaciated skeletal weird things are crawling out of the ground and killing people. It's like, you can't really do shit like that with practical effects. So, the fact that they're bringing in these bigger things, and the CG on them actually looks fairly decent. It's good. Like, it works, and it works at the very least. I think we're gonna have to actually wait and see the movie to really see how well the effects hold up. But so far they look fine. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to complain about with this trailer. It's just Alice. She's starting to like I've already kind of had a problem with Alice being part of the BPRD and actually fighting alongside Hellboy. It's like I kind of felt like you didn't need that. Like I get it. You don't want to have her just be the girlfriend, but like, she didn't have to be a fighter. Like you could, if you needed Alice to be in the BPRD, you could have just you could have had her original backstory. She was a baby who was switched up by a changeling. Hellboy saved her, and she eventually joined the BPRD as a researcher or something like that. You don't always need to have the action girlfriend. You know, like, you can just have a girl who is the main character's girlfriend, and just have her help him in non-combat situations. Like, be there for him, be emotional support. Like, she actually has a character beyond that, sure, but she doesn't have to fight. You know, it's whatever. We had Liz. She was awesome. And I really loved her relationship with Hellboy, but we had that. We don't need battle couples. Not all the time. We had a really good battle couple in the last two movies, but whatever. It's So like I have a problem with that, and also it seems like she has special powers, maybe they're Ellis and some other guy, I'm not sure who it is. They're fighting some dudes, and she punches one, and it looks like she knocks his soul out or something. I don't fucking know. So like maybe she has powers too, and it's like, and like in the comics, she had because she was taken by a changeling, she had a special connection with the fair folk. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I guess opposed to the whole getting kidnapped by a changeling thing can still be part of her backstory, but it's just, I don't know. Alice bugs me for some reason. I don't know why. Whatever. No, we got to see a little bit more of Ben Daimyo. Actually, I don't remember if he was in the last trailer. I gotta check that again. We got to see more of him. I didn't actually read the BPRD books, so I didn't know a lot about Ben going in. As like, when he turns into a were-jaguar, I was like, is that from the comics? And so I looked it up, and yeah, it is. So we got that. That's cool. It's, well, like, he's fine. I think he's pretty good. They got Daniel Day Kim to play him, and he's always great in whatever he's in. A weird thing that I noticed in this trailer, that's like, Hellboy's always known where he's come from. Like, that's always been a big, like, Trevor Broom has always told him, oh, you were summoned by Nazis, but we found you, and then we raised you to be a good guy. But it, like this trailer starts out with Hellboy talking to a woman who's describing how he was brought to Earth, and it's the same story. Nazis are performing some ritual in northern Scotland, I believe. They summon a thing, and it turns out to be Hellboy. The BPRD come in and stop them, and then they're not the BPRD, like the proto-BPRD, like the group of soldiers who eventually become the BPRD, come in, stop them. Trevor Boom finds the infant demon with the giant stone right hand, names it Hellboy, and then raises him as his own. Hey, real quick, while I was editing this, I actually remembered something else I wanted to talk about, something that kind of popped into my mind while I was watching the trailer. It was about the opening when Lady Cynthia is talking to Hellboy and is explaining where he came from. One thing I was actually really curious about is, when does the summoning take place in this movie? Because in the original comic, it took place in the last days of World War II. So when the actual book was taking place in the early 90s, Trevor Broom was pretty fucking old. But in this, he's still kind of old, but he's like on the far side of middle-aged, like late 50s, early 60s, around that time, around that age. So he can't have been, and he was in the flashback. Broom was pointing a gun at the infant Hellboy. So he was there. He did discover Hellboy and raise him. So considering how young Broom is in this, this can't have taken place during World War II, right? Or is this like a period piece? Like it's not happening now. It happened in the past, maybe. Like, I don't know why that would be the case. So I'm just curious when the ritual that summoned Hellboy to Earth is actually took place, or like, are these neo-Nazis? Are they trying to, like, did they already lose World War II and they're trying to start a second one by using magic? And it's like I guess that could work, but it's just it's something that I noticed and was curious about, and just for some reason I didn't remember talking about when I was actually making the main portion of this video. So it's just a little something extra to throw in there that I I just remembered while I was editing. But it seems like Hellboy didn't know that. Like, this woman who I believe is Lady Cynthia, one of the paranormal investigators who were helping the soldiers find this, the Nazi experiment. I think it's Lady Cynthia. She's telling him this, and it surprises him. So Hellboy didn't know where it came from until this moment, which is weird. And it seems like they're trying to create some kind of rift between Hellboy and Broom, and like, I'm not sure why. Like, it's like, this seems like a really bizarre writing choice, because Broom and Hellboy have always been really close, like actual father and son. Like, they have a great relationship, and it's probably one of the best things about the comics. It's like how much Broom loves Hellboy and how much Hellboy looks up to and respects and loves Broom. It's just like, it's really good. It's kind of like Splinter and the Ninja Turtles. Like, they're kind of dynamic, except with only one weird mutant child, and the father isn't a mutant either. But it's just that kind of, like, found family. Like, they aren't related by blood, but they are father and son. It's like, that's always been a really good thing about the comics, and it's like, but they're like in the last trailer, Hellboy is yelling at Broom. It's like, he turned me into a weapon. It's just like, so it's always been clear that they're going in this weird direction with Hellboy and Broom's relationship, and I'm just like, why? Like, why would you change this? Like, this was awesome. Why would you change this? And like, yeah, you gotta change stuff. Like, everything changes from adaptation to adaptation, but it's like, why would you change this specific thing that works so fucking well? Like, this was a really, like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's one of those, you gotta reserve judgment type of situations, but it's just like, I'm pretty sure Broom's gonna die in this, so maybe they're gonna try and, I don't know, like, have a redemption thing for Broom. It's like as Broom is dying, or like after Broom dies, Hellboy learns, oh, he's always loved you. That sort of bullshit. But like, I don't know. Like I said, they kind of started showing a little bit more of Nimbleway's plan. Still not entirely sure what the fuck it is, but it's just like, like I said, it's just generic, I will take over the world and shit like that. But of course, because that's how it always has to be with Hellboy stories, she wants Hellboy to join him. She wants Hellboy to join her. Whatever. It's like, okay. Like, it isn't... Oh yeah, that's another thing. We don't see Rasputin. Like we see Hellboy being brought to Earth, and the Nazis performing the ritual to summon him, but we don't see Rasputin. We do see the Nazi that was helping Rasputin with the blue and red sunglasses with the Nazis with the swastika in one of the lenses. We see him, but we don't see Rasputin. Is Rasputin going to be in this movie? I'm curious. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. But we don't. It's weird we don't see Rasputin. But it's whatever. Like, maybe Rasputin. Maybe Hellboy already beat Rasputin, so he's not an issue. I don't know. But like, I noticed that was weird. Nimbleway wants Hellboy to join him. Wants Hellboy to join her, like Rasputin did in the first movie. So, but it's obviously more romantic in nature, one-sided. Like, she's trying to seduce him and shit like that. And it's interesting because you actually do see Hellboy wielding Excalibur. It's on fire. His horns are out. You see the flaming crown, and he's actually riding on a dragon, wielding Excalibur with the horns. But like I said, it's not sure if that's actually a spoiler for anything, or it's just like a vision that Nimue is giving Hellboy is like, this is who you could be, or maybe Hellboy gets dragged to hell somehow and he's fighting off hordes of demons. Like, I don't know. It looks awesome, but we don't have a lot of context for it. So that's why I'm saying it might not be a spoiler, because we don't really know what the fuck this scene is. But Nimue seducing Hellboy, it does give one of the best lines in the trailer, and one that is very much in Hellboy's character. Nimue is saying we're meant to be together, and Hellboy is like, well, it's like, that may be, but you know, I'm a Scorpio and you're fucking nuts. So like, like Hellboy would totally say something like that. Hellboy would totally say something like that. But it's also another thing, is because this is a Red Band trailer. So, well, I saw the Red Band trailer because this is gonna be rated R, and that's odd because, like, okay, you know, the fact that they are making superhero movies, that studios are becoming more comfortable with making superhero movies is on the whole a good thing, because there are a lot of R-rated superheroes out there. You know, you have the fucking Punisher, Ghost Rider, fucking. Honestly, I could see if they ever did a solo Nick Fury movie, that should probably be rated R too. But like of all the R-rated superheroes out there, Hellboy isn't one of them. And I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, thank God this is going to be rated R," but like, Hellboy's never been rated R. He's always been PG-13. Like, even in the comics, like even when they could have gotten away with harder stuff, they never went there. Like, because it's so weird, because like Hellboy's never really gone into R-rated territory, because like, yeah, there's been like he kills a lot of things and there's a lot of blood and stuff like that, but like he never says anything worse than bitch. And it's like, even in the early comics, he never even says bitch. Like, he'll say son of, and something will cut him off. And so like having Daimyo and Hellboy say fuck, it's like the whole "you're out of your fucking mind" thing. That's funny, and it isn't Hellboy's character. But hearing Hellboy say fuck is weird. Like, it almost feels out of place. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, I think they've gotten to the point where, like, oh, Deadpool and Logan, they were both rated R, and they made a shit ton of money. And Hellboy is basically a horror comic, even though these last two trailers, you couldn't really tell if this was, like, neither really felt like they were advertising a horror story. But Hellboy is a horror comic, technically speaking. So I guess they figured that if they made it R, they could maybe get away with more gruesome things, and people are dying in really gruesome ways in this, like, make no mistake about that, but it's just like, I don't know, like, it feels almost gratuitous. Like, hey, we can make a R-rated Hellboy movie now. Blood and guts everywhere. And just start throwing fucks in. Like, okay, but, like, do you need that? Do you need that? I mean, okay, yeah, Nimue is known as the Queen of Blood in this storyline, so I guess, like, there's going to be a lot of blood in this, so I guess they kind of figured, like, they couldn't make this rated R with the copious amounts of blood that's gonna be in this, so I guess they just figured, fuck it, we might as well go the full 9 yards. But I don't know, making this R seems weird, but it's whatever. It's whatever. This is a good trailer. This is, like, it's fun. I'm looking forward to this. I'm glad it's coming out. It's coming out April 12th, I believe. So, yeah, another month. It's fine. This is good. This is good. I can dig this. Wasn't entirely sure how this was gonna turn out, but so far, yeah, I can dig this. So, my No Mercy, the Mad Hatter. I'll see y'all later.